Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Carrier-Sakani Tribal Council Annual General Assembly. We are so honored to have you here. My name is Zandra Wycott Ross. My maiden name is Wycott. I'm originally from the Williams Lake Indian Band, but I'm so honored to call Claytley Tenay territory my home for many, many years and have a special passion for this territory. I will be your host for the day, and I'm so excited to be here. We're going to jump right into the agenda. We really want to honor your time and thank each and every one of you for taking time out of your day to be here today. So just to let you know a little bit of housekeeping before we jump in, this meeting is being recorded, as are your questions and answers, so that we can get back to you if we're not able to, if we don't have all the answers, if time gets a little bit tight, we are committed to getting back the answers to you to all of your questions. So please put them in the question and answer box. Like I said, my name is Zandra. So nice to be here. And we are going to call this meeting to order. All right, so our first step for everyone, you can see your agenda if you'd like to have a look at it. But the first thing we need to do is establish quorum. So I'd love to have Tribal Chief Mina Holmes confirm quorum for us. And that means at least 4 directors in the room. If the 4 directors, if you could please put your hand up.
So to clarify, thank you, good morning.
Thank you, Mina.
Rodney Teed, proxy for Chief Priscilla Mueller. We have Chief Beverly John. We have Walter Ward, proxy for Chief Robert Michelle, Director Robert Michelle, and Ellen Lorenz, proxy for Silk Hasco.
Thank you so much, Tribal Chief. All right, excellent. We have quorum. All right, everyone. So you have access to the agenda. It has been sent out to you. We also have a link for you that you can access it. It was emailed out to you as well. And if you don't have that access, you can go to the CSTC Facebook page, which is pinned to the top of the agenda. You can go to the website carriersakani.ca, and it is attached in your email reminders for the event. And we really need you. If you have, if you would like to submit a resolution for today, what we need you to do is text resolution to 250-640-9372. Sorry, I'll repeat it again, and it's on the screen. 604-315-7933, just in case everybody's not close or you're looking off your phone right now. Again, resolution 250-640-9372 or 604-315-7933, and just text the word resolution and somebody will get back to you. One of our team will get back to you immediately. Now we're going on to move into our meeting norms before we get started. So we are have a lot of people on today. We're so honored to have you all and excited. But we're just going to ask you that due to the technology, due to this new way of doing things, we'd really ask if you could have just a little bit of patience with us as we're figuring these things out too, as you are on your end. If we could keep it respectful, the comments, we'd really appreciate that. We know that this is such an important topic and people's passion come out. But if we could just have that kind courtesy, that would be wonderful. And stay on topic so that we can hear from as many people as possible. And that's our goal, is to try to have an open discussion as much as we can. And that's our commitment. If we are unable due to technology reasons, knowledge reasons, or time constraints, the commitment of the team is we will be taking your answers. So make sure our questions and make sure that we get those answers to you. All righty. So we'll just go over a little bit about using Zoom, because I know for some of us, this is new technology. So what we do, if you want to type a question, you can click on the question and answer button at the button at the bottom bar, right on the bottom of your Zoom screen. Type your question into the question section, and we'll be answering those as we progress through the presentation. If you want to ask a question verbally, raise your hand virtually, and there's a little tiny hand at the bottom of your screen. That is your raise hand button. Again, my apologies. There's lots of you and there's one of me, and I've got a few people in the backgrounds helping me. So Please, there's no intent. We're going to try our best to get to people in the order, but just due to the technology, it may not always be. So I'm going to beg forgiveness right now from everybody on behalf of our team, because this is exciting, but it's a little bit nerve-wracking too. So, all right. So then what'll happen is once you raise your hand, you'll be entered into a queue, and we'll be just taking we'll start at the top of the list as we are opening the floor for questions. But again, due to our tight agenda, we have many public speakers that are tuning in at specific times in our agenda. So you may at times, if we get done quick, have a little lag, or we may have to move on from the questions, but we vow to you, we are going to get you the answers to those. So these are just some of the things, all right? And then we will touch base with you via email after. We will also be sending a final report with all the questions and answers, so you'll be able to refer back to them and know that we got to you. If you are having any internet connection issues, and we know how that goes in our communities with some of our limited internet connection. So what you can do is try moving your computer or phone closer to the modem. Okay, so wherever you're getting that, just get closer. The other thing is stop streaming other services. So I just turned all my stuff off on my phone, made sure my kids turned all their computer stuff before they went to school, so that because this sucks a lot of your internet bandwidth, we call it. So especially with all the people, all the lines. So thank you. So those are a few things to help you out a bit with Zoom. Now, I am very honored to be able to introduce the directors and chair of and I'm sorry, folks, I jumped ahead here. Sorry, I've been going along here and I just noticed something that I missed, my friends. So I am going to make sure I haven't had an acceptance of the agenda. My apologies. Okay, so I'm going to, my apologies, friends. A little bit nerve-wracking here. I promise I'll get warmer as the day goes on. There's so many of you and one of me. My apologies to the board. What we'd like to do now is we would like to, if you'd like to see the agenda, oh, maybe it's been moved down. If I can get a technical thing here, if that got moved down further in the agenda. There we go. All right. Well, I'm going to, it was on my original one. So I am going to, unless without direction, we'd like you to take a look at the agenda, and just want to say welcome to everybody out in the audience. Thank you. Sorry, guys, we're just figuring it out. I'm going by a little bit of a script. So I'm just going to say, first of all, welcome to all of you. Thank you for being here. We're so excited that you took this time out today. We'll be welcoming our elders and people as we go throughout the agenda. And thanking you so much. So right now, I'm going to check in and see if it's okay, because it was on my agenda yesterday to accept the agenda. So if everybody could have a look at the agenda. I'm just going to make sure I'm not ahead here. So what I'd like you to do, no, sorry, I am ahead of it. Sorry, guys. It's a little bit further on. It was earlier in my thing. My apologies, folks. So thank you. I'm just going to keep going on my slides. My apologies, Audrey, if I'm giving you a heart attack right now. Okay, thank you, guys. My apologies. Let's welcome the directors and chair of the Carey-Sakani Tribal Council. I would like to welcome Tribal Chief Mina Holmes from the Clauston Nation, Natalie Watun, Chief Larry Nuski, Stellaten. Oh, and I'm going to get back because I know I have some people here that are in proxy for other people. Natalie Watun, Chief Larry Nuski, Stellaten First Nation, Chief Robert Michelle, Sycus First Nation, Chief Priscilla Mueller, Rodney Teed is proxy for Chief Priscilla Mueller, Takla Nation, Chief John Allen French, Glaston First Nation, Chief Beverly John, Burns Lake, Chief Ray Giroux, Ellen Lawrence, AK Chicky, is proxy for Chief Ray Giroux, Wet'suwet'en, Chief Maureen Luggie. We welcome and honor all of the work that you do in our communities, and thank you so much for taking time out away from the very important work that you're doing in our communities to join us today, all of you that are available, and sending out our blessings and hope for health for all of our members that can't be here today. And that includes all of our members that are not here today, including our leadership. So thank you so much for being here. Next, I am so excited and just such an honor to always share any space with this amazing woman. I would like to welcome to do the opening prayer and the land acknowledgement, Kim Gucci, who will lead us through it. She is a member of the Clately Tene Nation and is a world-renowned singer and songwriter. So thank you so much, Kim, for sharing with us. I'll ask you now to unmute yourself, Kim.
Howdy. Hi, everybody. I'm here on the unceded traditional territories of the Syilx Nation in the Okanagan. And as Zandra said, I am a member of the Clately Tene Nation. I am considered an elder, and I really am an elder in training. And I just want to acknowledge all of the chiefs, council members, and the communities that are zoomed in here right now, and also all of the elders and the youth. I hope there's some youth on this call, because we need you, young people. We need you to sit alongside of our chiefs and our counselors and our elders so that you can lead us in a good way into the future. I'm going to start with a smudge, a virtual smudge. If you have smudge nearby you, I encourage you to light it up, because we always love to start this way, to clear the space, to set our intentions in a good way, to purify the air that we breathe. So may we feel the love and energy of all of us together in this virtual space as we come together in the unity of our nations, our Duck Health people. May we think with compassion and empathy and wisdom. May we see with love and patience. May we speak positive words, giving good messages to one another, and may we feel with compassion. I want to share something with you that I wrote especially for this event today. And it's to do with the theme of today, which is resilience through unity since time immemorial. And that slideshow earlier showed that very clearly, the resilience of our people. Like the western cedars of the ancient forest, we have withstood the test of time and continue to stand strong and proud. Like the root system of these sacred beings, we have become more stable with our interconnectedness. Together, we hold space for the next generations. The winds will continue to blow, but the strength and resilience of the forest, the people, will survive and flourish because we are Dakel, and the land remembers us and takes care of us. I want to just close with one little song for you that will help get us into this space, because I know focusing during these times has been difficult, and I believe it's been stressful, and this song really helps to ground me, and I hope it will help you as well. It goes like this. Unclench your jaw, soften your brow, take a deep breath the now. Stay in the now. Stay in the now. Stay in the now. I wish you all a wonderful time today as you gather and discuss all of the wonderful things you're going to talk about today. Snachalia, Masicho.
Oh, geez. Thank you so much, Kim, for honoring us and starting our day out right with a little bit of good medicine. We appreciate you so much, and you bring so much honor to your nation and to your territory. And every time I see and hear your name, I just get excited because I know that so much integrity and so much beauty and knowledge are going to be coming my way. So in my language, Kuksjam Masi. Thank you so much. All right, fabulous. Oh, that's such a good way to get us going. Kim's also going to be joining us back again at the end of our day to send us away in a good way as possible. So thank you so much. All right. I'm just checking some things here. All right, now I would like to turn the screen over to our wonderful Tribal Chief Mina Holmes. Thank you, Mina, with your opening comments.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Sandra. I really appreciate your energy here. I'm looking forward to you helping us navigate through the day today. I think it's always a wonderful experience when you have great positive energy that's leading the discussions. And thank you very much for joining us and helping us today. Segeza, Deneza, elders, wise leaders, young ones, family and friends, we welcome you. We appreciate your time here with us and we honor your good energy here today. Everyone, welcome everybody to our first online annual General Assembly. I think many of us are very excited and many of us are very nervous about this. And we really want this to be a great experience for everyone. And we have a lot of technical folks in the background and we are doing our best to help make this run smoothly today. So welcome to our everyone here today. Please be patient with our technical team. Like I said, we're excited, but we're a little nervous and we just want to make sure this goes off very well. Also, I'd like to recognize that our communities, many of our communities, if not all of our communities that have been experiencing ongoing loss and grief and managing COVID, this pandemic and isolation, depression, and a great deal of loss and many people still in the hospital. We just want to recognize and honor that our prayers are with you and we continue to have prayers across the board for everybody. And it's a very difficult time for everybody, so we really that much more appreciate that you are taking the time to be here today with us, so we can help, report back to you whom the people that we serve to, we are responsible to. And again, we extend our prayers to all the families and all of the communities. Today, I'd like to add in our starting us off is, I'd like to take a quote from 3 sections from the Declaration of Alliance, which was in the early 1980s. And this was made, by the people, really, for the people and how, in understanding how we organize ourselves. So the first one in the Declaration of Alliance, and there is a link on our website to this. So it starts with, recognizing that we, Yinka Watane, have a common ancestry, language, and way of life. Language, land, and way of life, and the Bathlat system. Acknowledging that our ancestors saw it wise to organize and conduct our personal, family, cultural, and political and legal relationships through our Bathlat system. Article 7 states, we will carry our ways and our business with respect, care, and love for each other, and we will create stability and confidence in ourselves and our young to ensure our people and our ways will survive in the future. Article 8 states, where we have differences, we will talk to each other with great respect, care, and love, and work out our differences to ensure harmony and balance in our own life, families, and communities. And with that, Again, thank you everyone for being here today. We honor your time and your energy, and we do our best on our end. This is very new to us, using technology in this way. So, Masi Cho, welcome. And with that, I'll hand it back over to the chair to carry us forward.
Oh, thank you so much for those wonderful words to get us started. I just love having our leadership. You say that my leadership, I honor you and thank you, because like you said, I think we were all like this morning. So, this is very new, and we're really excited to be presenting here, and I'm so excited to be sharing the stage with you. Tribal Chief Mina Holmes. So thank you for that. And you will be hearing from her a few more times today. So I hope she's got her water and has got her throat warming up. I could see she's got her hot beverages there, because it's going to be a long one. So thank you so much. All right, so now we are going to be launching 2 polls here. So we are going to be doing the approval of the agenda and the adoption of the 2019 AGM minutes. So we're going to do this one a little bit, just because we have so many people. We thought it would be easier to count. We're going to this is called a negative voting. So what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be asking, just to explain the process, I'm going to be, and as you see the agenda as presented, I'm going to be asking for a mover and a seconder for the agenda. And all you have to do is put your hand up, and we'll just take the first 2 names. So out of our attendees, I've got a hand. I love it. Okay, perfect. And then we will pass it. When I ask, we'll get a mover, a seconder. Then I'm going to ask for all those against. This is the one time where we're going to ask you for all those against. Why? It'll just make it easier for us to count the no hands for this one. Okay. So move, seconded, and then passed, okay, if it passes or not. So that's what I'm going to do, is get you to take a little look at the agenda, and look at that. I've already got 2 people. I've got a mover, and again, no offense to anyone, I've just got a list of names. So I'm just going to go with the first. Oh, I had one hand up, the other hand bounced away. All right, I've got a mover, Sherry Tibbet. I've got a seconder, Renee John. And thank you for everybody else that jumped in there. So, so now we've got a mover and a seconder. So now what I need you to do, and thank you for everyone taking your hands away, whoever's doing that, good job. Now what I need to know, anyone who's not in favor of the agenda, if you could raise your hand. And sorry, this isn't to single you out. We were going back and forth about that, but just for this one, because it would be easier for us to count the no hands. So I'm just looking down here. And like I said, don't be shy. Mina? Sorry, oh, you just came off there. Okay. Oh, so seeing no opposed votes, we are going to pass the agenda as presented. Thank you. We got our first one done. Okay. So now what we're going to do is the adoption of the 2019 AGM minutes. So if everybody could look, I'm making sure that I don't have any notes. If you guys see me checking things out, I'm just making sure that my handlers haven't given me any other directions here. Because like I said, there's a lot of us here. So I'm just checking all my spots. Excellent. And just an awareness, if anyone's struggling with their internet, we've included a link in the chat box where there's some steps that will help you intensify, I guess, your internet connection. So hopefully that will provide a little bit of help. So now if we could get the poll up if we can have the minutes, has everybody had a chance to have a look at them? We have, and again, you've got 2019 minutes online. If you look in your chat box, we've got a link for you there where you can go back and have a peek at them. And hopefully you've had time in the email that was sent to you. So I'll just give it a couple minutes, just a minute or 2 here, just because, again, way to go. You guys are all fabulous. We're on track with our agenda. So that's going to be my job here. So let me see. All right. So give you all a minute here, and then we are going to look for a mover and a seconder. And then if there's any discussion, we can open up discussion or question and answer. You can put it into the question and answer box. So giving everybody a moment. And my apologies if I'm waiting too long for some. I just want to make sure that with this technology that everybody has at least a quick peek and knows where they can access the information. Right. And I guess, okay, so I've got someone that's okay. Do that one. Alrighty. So what I see is I'm going to ask. I have a mover and a seconder already with their hands up. So calling for a mover and a seconder. The mover will be Mark Louie. Seconder will be Sherry Tibbett. Any discussion? Please put it. If you have any questions, please feel free to put it in the question and answer box, and we will keep an eye on that. Let's give a minute or two. All right, any discussion? I'll call my second call for any discussion on the minutes from 2019. Third and final call for any question or comments regarding minutes.
Sorry, Zandra, can we ask for the people who move and second to state their nation as well?
Thank you very much for that. If you could state your nation or put it into, or when I do, I will allow you to talk, and then I'll just ask you to state your nation. So I'm going to just click on you, Sherry, and I'm just going to ask you to state your nation.
Benzik Silcasco.
Thank you so much, Sherry. And I believe it was Mark Louie was the second one, correct? For this one, just to make sure. I'm going to ask you, Mark, I'll just ask you to unmute. Mark, if you can just state your nation.
Hey there, Zandra. Oh,
No? Okay.
it looks like Mark commented in the as a panelist here
Thank
that
Thank you so much. Thank you for that. Thank you. I'm looking all over the screen. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right. Excellent. Okay. So now we just have a third discussion. All right. And so we know that some of you, and we're apologizing if some of you, like I said, with technology, we sent it out with all of the, we emailed it out. We're trying to get everybody connection onto it now. So if you've had a chance. All right. And I'm checking. I know that everybody else is keeping an eye on the chat box and what have you. Thank you so much. All right, then. So, I'm going to look for a motion to, so I've got the motion. So what I'm looking is for, and I'm going to do a negative vote on this one again. So if I could, and please, sorry, Mina, yes.
I need someone to call question.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Could I get somebody to call question? So what that means is we'll have discussion. I'll call it 3 times. Thank you, Mina. I'll call it 3 times. And then ideally somebody will call question in the audience, or if you want me to call it before. So what'll happen is I will call up to 3 times, then I will call question, which means then we will vote on it. If somebody feels that we've went on with it long enough before I call the end of question, members will have the ability to call question, which then calls the vote immediately. So I won't go on to a second or a third call. We will just immediately, once question is called, and you just have to put question. Okay. So you can just call question if you want to push the motion into the vote. Does that make sense? Did I say that right, Mina? Somewhat good. Okay, thank you. We're tag teaming this today, folks. So she's going to be on here with me, keeping an eye on it. So, so we've got question on the floor. We realize some people we just want to acknowledge. Again, just another time that the info was sent out with the invitation. So everybody that registered, you would have had it attached to any of the email that was your response back stating that you were there. So if you need some time to look at that. So, all right, so I've had 3. So Mina, would you, just asking again, should I move on with the vote at this time? All right, so again, I'm going to ask for a negative vote just because it's easier for us to count this list of names and make sure we don't. So I'm going to lower everybody's hand if I can. And what I'm going to ask everybody, if you are not in favor of accepting the minutes from the 2019 annual general meeting, I repeat, if you are not accepting the, in agreement, then I want you to put your hand up. You can keep your hand down if you're in agreement. All right. Last call for any hands. Anyone that does not agree with accepting this agenda, please raise your hand. All right. Motion is accepted to accept the minutes from the 2019 AGM. Thank you so much for that. We got onto our first bit of business. Yay, we did it. Yeah, everybody. Virtual clap for our team. We're all, you don't see them right now, but they're all doing a little boogie in the background. And I know Mina and I'll boogie for both of us, Mina. So now we are going to, oh geez, another wonderful cultural moment for all of us. We've got a video that we're going to be playing for you here for the next few minutes. This speaker is Camille Callison. Preserving the history of the CSTC communities is vital to the longevity of our communities. It tells us where we come from and can inform where we're going. Camille Callison recorded a short message for us today. She is the Indigenous Strategies Librarian at the University of Manitoba and a member of the Tahltan Nation. She is a passionate cultural activist who currently serves as the chair of the International Federation of, sorry, I can't read that whole thing, Federation of Library Associations Indigenous Matters section, a member of the National Film Board's Indigenous Advisory Group, and a member of Canada's Steering Committee on Archives for the Truth and Reconciliation Commission Task Force, among many other things. So please take this time to and watch this fabulous video from the Most Honorable Camille Callison.
Hi Dee, greetings. Edu, Masicho, thank you for the opportunity to join you today. And thank you to Tribal Chief Mina Holmes from the Carrier Secondary Tribal Council for inviting me and for the important work that you do on behalf of all Dakelt people. I also wish to acknowledge the elders of the community, past, present, and emerging, and all the good people gathered today virtually for this presentation. I'm honored to be speaking in the historic gathering place virtually by where the Fraser and the Chaco rivers meet, and to be currently a guest in Treaty 1 territory, working at the University of Manitoba within the heart of the Red River Métis homelands, also known as Winnipeg. My name is Camille Callison. I'm from the Tusqueam clan of the Tahltan Nation, which is located north of you in British Columbia, close to the Yukon border. And within the Yukon and Alaska, we are the people of the Stikine. One of the things that I remember and I carry with me as I go is a saying that my late grand uncle, Robert Kwok, taught me. We belong to the land. It is so important for me, no matter where I am and who I am with, to acknowledge where I'm from. I hope to honor my heritage today by facilitating a better understanding of why it's important for Indigenous people to preserve their living and traditional knowledges. So I really wanted to encourage you today in the work that you're doing and the ongoing work in your archive and in your new agreement with the Carrier Secondary Tribal Council and the work that they're doing within the community to preserve the language. Indigenous knowledge is dynamic. It's been sustained since time immemorial, but has transformed in the modern era to produce new knowledge, which is included in music, theater, dance, photography, literary expressions, language applications, and definitely social media and digital collections. Many communities in Canada have the essence of their libraries and archives in what we would call our elders' libraries and archives, but because we have material library and archives that were a part of our community and held by our community, they are now held in libraries and archives and museums outside of our community. Because of the holistic nature of the way that we look at Indigenous knowledges, this knowledge is so important for it to come back to our community and to be connected back to our land and to our waterways, because our land is the essence of who we are, and the water brings us life. And so without that connection and that relationship with our land and to the original peoples of that knowledge, something is definitely lost in the cultural transmission of that knowledge. Right now, today, in this precarious time, when we have a global pandemic going on, it is actually attacking the very essence of who we are as Indigenous people by attacking our elders and those who have precarious health conditions. And that knowledge continuum is also being attacked. And so it really is about cultural survival. It's about us surviving as a community and preserving that knowledge. So if there is ever a time where we need to be more passionate and more proactive about preserving our languages and our knowledge and connecting them to our people and to our land, and passing them on to the next generation in a culturally appropriate manner, it would be now. For Indigenous people, we know that those knowledge systems have developed a wealth of information and cultural expression that they rightly want to preserve and to protect and pass on. We can do this through using that information that's already existing in our libraries and archives, gathered for many things, whether it was land claims or treaties or working with referrals, working with heritage conservation. All of that knowledge should come together as a nation, irregardless of political separations, because that knowledge is only holistic when it's together and it's connected to each other. And so I really encourage you to preserve and to protect your knowledge in a central archive that's for all Dalek people to be able to work together, to take a nationwide approach and to highlight that interconnectedness between our histories, our land, and the time that we've spent on them. I also encourage elders to be proactive, and those who are emerging elders to work with those elders to preserve that knowledge. Sometimes it's because we don't feel like we have the knowledge to preserve, but there is knowledge that we all carry with us that needs to be recorded and documented for future generations to be able to access and to be provided for language right revitalization work or for education and for programming in the future. Therefore, it is my honor and privilege to be here today and to encourage you in developing those protocols for preserving accessing and passing on that knowledge to the next generation. I actually am in this work today because of Dr. Jean Joseph, who is a Wet'suwet'en Dalek librarian, although she is now retired, but she was instrumental for me working at Wiwa Library when I was a student. And so I really want to acknowledge that today, that you have had a history of protecting and preserving your knowledge and language in the future, and to continue that using the systems that we have in place today, and that political aspects of protecting that need to be pushed aside, especially in the day of COVID, and cultural survival needs to be assured for the next generation. So with that, I'll say Maducho or Masicho, thank you for your time and attention. And I want to encourage you to continue in the good work that I know that you are already doing in your archives, but to to enhance that work and to speed it up a little bit more so that people have access to that in the future.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Mina, for bringing that bit of joy to us. That was lovely. Thank you. Oh, wow.
LaRoe for that.
Oh, thank you so much. That was beautiful. I just saw the first little bit of it. That's beautiful. Thank you. What an honor to our people, our nations out there, that we have people at that level doing that kind of important work, just not in our communities, but at a national and an international level. Like it's just so makes my heart happy for our futures. So thank you so much, Ms. Collison. We appreciate you and honor you so much for all the work that you do. Thank you. So now moving on to the next part of our agenda, it is time for the presentation of our annual report. And I will turn the table back over to Chief Mina Holmes.
Thank you very much. Just want to say thank you again for everyone for joining us here today. And we're all monitoring the chat boxes, the Q&A box, as well as the group chat box or the meeting chat box. There's some questions in there I'd like to respond to momentarily. I do have a PowerPoint, I believe, that I think it's only three slides in the PowerPoint. And then I'll move into answering the questions that I saw in the Q&A. So to start with, my report is simply a high level report, which is offering some highlights and kind of where I see where we are now, where we might go. Our general manager offers a more detailed report of the administration, the organization, and how things are going here. I think he's also including all of the staff reports. For anyone else looking, you can see each staff's individual report in the what was it called again, Zandra, where all the staff reports are in the online PDF version of the package, correct?
Yes, the annual report package.
Yes, that's right. I didn't know if we changed the name or not at the last minute, so thank you for that. There we go. Sorry, I lost my whole screen, just went blank for a second. That's odd. But anyway, here we go. So this year has been filled with a lot of change and yet a great deal of opportunity, as well as ongoing challenges living in this kind of worldwide pandemic, as I mentioned earlier. However, this past year, one of the things that we did, I'm very proud of, that we collectively and successfully finalized the Pathways 2.0 agreement with the province of BC. There is a presentation further in the agenda. Brian Toth will be joining us and walking us through an update on the government to government or G2G negotiations that are currently being housed here. So this, just for those who are not familiar with the Pathways Agreement, this is a landmark agreement that is intended to support economic prosperity, improved environmental decision-making, and greater sociocultural opportunities for Carrie-Sican First Nations. This agreement is the fifth in a series of agreements to help Carrie-Sican First Nations move forward to greater prosperity and sustainability in the future. And something to note that I should clarify one point on here is that the Pathways 2.0 agreement and that series of G2G agreements, Nakazi-Wet'suwet'en is a member of that agreement, while Wet'suwet'en First Nation is not a member of, not a signatory to that agreement or the series of agreements. Just to clarify that now, and again, we'll have more in-depth presentation when Brian Toth joins us this afternoon or later on in the agenda. Now, when our community, something I really would like to kind of express is that when our communities and leadership commit to work together in mutual respect and love for our people, we can accomplish any direction that we set a course for. With love and wisdom from our elders and the leaders, we must continue those teachings that have been taught to us, those teachings of respect for each other and to lift each other up, particularly in the hard times. The Declaration reminds us, as I quoted earlier, when we have differences, we will talk to each other with great respect, care, and love, and work out our differences to ensure harmony and balance in our own life, families, and communities. There will always be challenges and challenging times, such as right now, for example, we are having to meet with each other, talk to each other, majority of our time by using technology, by telephone, by online Zoom, and all the other apps that are out there to help us be connected. So it's quite a shift. It can be frustrating for many people. It can be awkward as well at times. So we're just all still, even though it's been a year, we're still learning how to do that. So even now more than ever is to have that patience and kindness for ourselves and each other. And we must be able to change with the times, as we did with these demands, and being flexible with the technology and how we operate, but also changing with being flexible and changing with the political and social environments that we live in today. Change is good. I embrace change. I think it's inevitable to occur. And if we can work together towards a future that can bring about what we are, the members, you here, all of you, and all the members of the Tribal Council work together. As I said, we can accomplish anything when we set our minds to what we want to accomplish, and of course, to go into a direction that the members would like us to go to. Slide 2. I am proud of the administrative team who happily carries out their work to support our responsibilities to the members. Slide 2, is this slide 2? And there's some wonderful folks who are working here who are very dedicated to their jobs and very happy and eager to do the wonderful work that they're doing. So I just want to acknowledge all of the staff and how proud I am of all of you, and how wonderfully you are all working together and supporting each other, especially during this past year. I just want to really raise my hands to both my hands to all of you, and thank you very much for your dedication and your hard work. For example, I just want to highlight a couple of points. Again, you can get all of these in the, sorry, I'm being passed something. You look at that right now?
Vicki needs it.
To highlight a couple of initiatives, sorry, I have to sign something really quick. Our communications works diligently to update our website, and this has been really key to changing with the times, needs, and demands, is having a strong online presence. And our new communications officer, Audrey McKinnon, has done a fantastic job of that, as well as his two predecessors who really worked hard as well to get us going. So Audrey's picked that up and is doing a great job. She's creating and maintaining a strong online presence with social media. You'll see in her report that there's talk about a new website that is more fluid, and I am really, really excited about the new website, because the old one that we're using right now is so outdated. It's quite frustrating to work with. I have to admit that. Now, this effort of having communications is so critical in any organization's role or responsibility. Even us personally, communications is so important in our relationships. So this effort of building stronger communications it takes a lot of work and dedication to ensure that the Tribal Council is engaging members and speaking to current issues. We have a series of webinars that are coming up, and again, this is changing with the times and engaging with all of you through online webinars, which we're all nervous with this platform here, but we're also getting used to it and actually getting more excited about it, like I am right now. Also, our technical services unit is smoothly operating and updated. So I want to say a big shout out to Lucy Martin, who many of you may know. Lucy, she used to work at the Tribal Council many years ago. She came back to run take over the technical service unit and has done amazing jobs. I don't know if I haven't seen the video, but she may be sharing a video of what the work she's done down there. So our archives has done a tremendous job in digitizing the records there and decluttering it and making it a very nicely organized department. And so that's something I was really excited about. So also just want to recognize that the COVID pandemic created many hurdles for all of us and for the rest of us and the whole world, actually. We had to close our doors here at the Tribal Council for a period of time. The doors are still actually closed to visitors. I believe we will be moving into appointments only soon. I'm just not entirely sure when that is. And that will be dictated by the conditions that the province puts out on meeting and gathering, etc. So while it was very sad to close our doors to the public and find new ways to work efficiently with you, please be patient and kind with each other as we try to learn to work. We had to really learn to work remotely, work mostly online, and we had to find new technology to help us access files, etc. So that's been quite a time for us, and I think we've adapted quite well to that, and I think many of us still are adapting to that. Our administration responded to the pandemic by starting to help with all of our neighbors in Prince George. And this was very dear to me because I thought of our ancestors who welcomed newcomers to the land and took care of them during their times of struggle, etc. So we wanted to continue that value and respect for taking care of each other and our neighbors. So our first round of support to COVID packages, hampers that we did, we provided those to everyone and anyone who signed up or was nominated, who we were given their name and their kind of needs. We did that for everyone. And I'm really proud to say that. We also continued that we still continue it today. We've amended how it's done. We had to do contactless, so we had to move from doing hampers to just grocery gift cards. However, Alberta also did, in addition to no longer doing hampers and gift cards, but actually doing special shops for those who could not shop for themselves. And we've received a lot of wonderful responses, thank you notes and letters from folks who have been so grateful to receive this support. And again, this was mainly for those in the Prince George area. We did not receive funds. I don't even know if we could have accessed funds to provide that same or similar support to other areas or just to member nations. Again, John Lewis can provide more more details on that in his report. I hope I haven't stolen too much of his thunder there. Okay, moving on. I'm going to have a sip of my tea that Zandra probably has right next to her as well. Slide 3, please. Thank you. Also, wanted to point out the obvious that many tribal councils all over this country and all over this country and this province, of course, all face challenges, and this tribal council is no different. There have been historical needs for tribal councils and historical issues with tribal councils, and while we understand that, we just need to understand that we have to look at these challenges from a variety of sources. And the many conversations that I've had and many people have had with me about what are we doing with the tribal council. It doesn't serve the needs that was originally set up to do, and we understand that. And then something else that's very dear to me is that we have to have the conversation of what do we do with the tribal council? Do we reconstitute it and make it something else? Do we create a new entity? Whatever that is, the tribal council has to develop a strategic plan that involves the members, involves you or a selected group of you, especially our elders and our hereditary leaders and clan leaders. I came into this role with the full knowledge that I could be the last tribal chief, and that is a reality. However, the last tribal chief in the current form that this tribal council is in, and I have to say that because we don't know what form or structure it will move into, because the membership has to, I feel that we have to engage with the members to understand and build a strategy of what the tribal council, the direction the tribal council should go. And I'm a great supporter of seeing change and opportunity when it presents itself. And I believe that we should have this discussion and we should do this work. This year, there have been many attempts, There have been at least 4 attempts that I'm aware of to do exactly that. What do we do with the tribal council? Do we change its structure? It's reconstituting it? We're not sure. However, I do hope that this year will be the year, and preferably through a resolution from the membership, that we embark on doing that good work this year. I'm very much looking forward to this coming year. I have 13 months left in my term, and while I have learned a great deal in this past nearly 2 years, I know that I will learn much more in this coming year. And we hope to do a strategic plan and understand the direction of this tribal council, which will help to help. My personal vision is to see this tribal council move in the direction that our community's particular elders, hereditary leaders, clan leaders, and women, our matriarchs and our women leaders who are in the community, I'm not talking about just elected leaders, but all women who have leadership in their communities. So with that is my summary. I do want to go to last year's resolutions, and for some reason I've lost everything on my screen here. So if I could just take a moment, Zandra, if you could just take over for a second. I'm going to bring up I had a screen with all of the last year's resolutions on it, and it just like completely disappeared from me. So you could just like entertain me for a moment.
I wish I had my juggling balls out here. Just joking. No, I'll let you know. You know what? We are, once Tribal Chief Mina is done here, we are going to be moving into some draws. So that's what I'll fill in this bit here. So we've got some amazing door prizes for all of you. Yes, even virtually. And I promise they won't be virtual door prizes either. They'll actually be real door prizes. So stay tuned for that. What it'll look like though, you have to be present to win. Okay. So who's ever in there, we're going to be looking at you. Whoever, that's where we're going to get our names, is from the attendees list. And it's going to be really fun when you see it, because there isn't going to be, and nobody they didn't give me a payoff to get anybody to win, because it's all digital. So it's really cool. Even the door prizes, I'm excited for you folks to see. So, and you just let me know, Mina, when you're ready to go. Give me a thumbs up or a jump in and we're good. You ready, hon? All right, take it away.
Oh, and tech support comes in the room and asks me if I found it yet. One of the questions, or 2 questions in the Q&A that I saw, was in relation to last year's resolutions, last year's AGA resolution, particularly motion, sorry, not resolution, but motion. Motion 10.24, 2019, number 3, the third motion. It was moved by Albert George and seconded by Gino Newski, Saikas and Natalie Waden. That, I'll just read it out so everyone can hear it, that I see it here. That where it be resolved, the directors create and mandate and address overlap boundaries and issues. CSTC has a boundary. Neighboring nations do expand boundaries as major projects do happen. So asking any neighboring nations have to address overlap issues. We have the right to say this is our territory. A good example is the pipeline, the indirect impact to the territory and direct impact. So an update on this is there has not been a direct response to this. There is indirect responses to this resolution, and that comes through the ongoing work through the pathways, the SI, the negotiations that are currently going on, and because boundaries are part of those discussions, and we're working with other neighboring communities that are not part of the tribal council. However, that does not make this resolution, I believe, needs to be put back as another mandate. And while this was the CSTC Board of Directors was mandated, I think we should bring that back to ensure that there's a timeline. It's brought back as a resolution with a timeline to report back to the membership. And I would suggest maybe I can give this back to our tech people who are working on resolutions, and we can ask them to type this resolution up and add wording on timeline and being more specific about who is responsible exactly to ensure that this is done and is reported back to you. So that's all I can offer on that right now. The second resolution that I saw in the Q&A was the number fourth resolution that day was moved by Pies Charlie Silkasco and seconded by Ryan Tibbetts Silkasco, that whereas CSTC look after the physical, mental, and payment to the day school survivors, it should be all bands have a process in place where day school survivors have a settlement. So I did follow up with this, and I started wrote letters to the Minister of Indigenous, the Federal Minister of Indigenous Affairs, Carolyn Bennett. It did receive some response, and there is further follow-up to work with them. I understand from her that more and more names were schools, day schools, like Prince George College as well, and the day schools, they were called day scholars, that those are being paid more attention to this past year. The last correspondence I had from her was, I believe, November of last year. After this AGA was done, I did do some correspondence with her. So there's further follow-up. Again, this is one of those incidences where COVID can't just feel like I feel silly calls blaming COVID, but it really did throw a wrench into communications engagement and priority setting with all of the governments and all levels of government. So I will continue to follow up on this. And I would like to offer to take responsibility to make sure that this update on this is put on our website and there's links to it where people can have more of a report from me that's available on our website. So it'll be there. And I'll also, was there another one in the Q&A that I should be looking at? Anybody? Just before I finish here. Okay, no, I'm not seeing anything. There was one more resolution. No, there wasn't a question on this, but I should bring it to light anyway. It was the number 2 resolution from last year. It was the motion is subject pathways agreement with Sioux-Wet'en First Nation. Reg Mueller moves, of Sitka has moved, and Chief Larry-Nuski of Nadle Wet'en seconds that whereas Chief Maureen Ludi expressed the need for process for WFN to join pathways agreement, where it be resolved that Chief Mina Holmes that provide discussion, Tribal Chief Mina Holmes, to meet with Chief Maureen Lugie and start the process. So the follow-up on this is that I did do that. We did reach out and I brought along at the time, Jackie Thomas was the acting reconciliation table manager, coordinator, chair. We did meet with Chief Maureen. We had a couple of meetings on this topic. And we were, at this point, we're trying to express how the negotiation started, how Wet'suwet'en First Nations chose not to be part of those initial discussions, and how there might be ways for them to on-ramp, which is the terminology that's in pathways, to on-ramp First Nations into a collective effort, so to speak. The last time we met with, I will follow back up with Chief Maureen Lugie on the response of, I think she was going to engage her membership to see what they wanted to do before coming back with a full response. So again, other things happened in the world, and but this is something that we'll bring back to life and continue to work on. Okay, is that it for me? I'm just going to look, St. John's Maria Goretti School. So Bruce, I see your question. Is St. Joseph's and St. Maria Goretti's included? While Zandra takes over, I can just double check and see if those are included.
Excellent. All right. And again, getting back to our wonderful draws again here. Like I said, we'll be starting those at the conclusion of Chief Mina's appointment here, or report here. So we got our beautiful Vanna Whites, we're calling them, but it'll be Alberta and Audrey will be coming up here in a few moments. So we'll get them. There they are, the lovely ladies. Are you ready, Mina?
Yeah, I just had a question. When were we playing Terry TG's video?
I would say we're going to be having a bit, I would say after, because we are ahead of the agenda. Way to go, everybody. You're doing amazing. I'm thinking after the draws, we could play Terry's video just because we're going to have a bit of time there. So I don't know if you want to finish answering the questions, Mina, or.
I think I'm
No,
not.
sorry, honey. Okay.
Yeah, I did look at the questions.
Okay, we've got all the questions. Excellent. All right then. Thank you so much, Tribal Chief Mina Holmes. We appreciate you. And now we know it's all the time you've been waiting for. So I am going to turn it over to our two official Vanna Whites, Audrey and Alberta. Virtual claps for Audrey and Alberta. Yay!
Thanks, Sandra. Nice to meet everybody. If I haven't met you before, my name's Audrey McKinnon. I'm the Communications Officer for CSTC, and I am joined by the lovely Alberta Alec. Alberta, do you want to say a couple words about yourself?
Good morning, everybody. My name is Alberta Alec, and you pretty much see me on your lives. So.
Everybody knows Alberta. You know what? We're going to share Alberta's screen in a second to do the wheel of names where we'll draw names. But before we share your screen, Alberta, actually, I want to share mine for a second so that everybody can see how we're picking here. So just give me a second here. So if you look on your screen here, I've got a list of all of the prizes. We've got 20 prizes that we're giving away today, and we've ordered them semi-randomly. I'm going to say we've saved the biggest prizes for the end. So we're hoping that you can stick around for the whole thing. And we're basically just going to draw names, and we'll go in order. So the first person to, well, I guess it's 19, isn't it? Because one's used up here. So it's 19 prizes we're giving away. So the first name we draw will get this Nechako White Sturgeon Recovery Initiative t-shirt, and we'll just move down the list in that order as we go. As Zandra had mentioned, you do have to be in the room. You have to be attending at the moment that we draw your name. We'll take a quick search for you in the list of attendees once we have that name drawn. And then I'll need to collect your contact information. If you can send your email address to me, that would be great. And well, why don't we get started? I'm going to stop sharing my boring screen. Well, my screen actually isn't boring because it's got all the prizes on it. But I know that Alberta, your screen is very exciting. So let's take a look.
Okay. So do you have a picture of the prize, Audrey?
Of the t-shirts, I don't have this picture on me right now. I think we'll have to just go with really great descriptions. So the first prize that we're drawing for is the Nechako White Sturgeon Recovery Initiative t-shirt. It's valued at $20, and the winner gets to select their color and their size. So Alberta, spin that wheel.
All righty. And here we go for the first prize. 1, 2, 3.
All right, Mildred Alexander. So let's see if you're here. I'm going to take a look at the participant list. Mildred, if you are in attendance, can you raise your hand? I don't see Mildred on the list. I'm just going to do a double check. I don't see Mildred here, Alberta. So if we could remove her and spin again, we're going to spin again for this t-shirt.
All right. Okay, here we go.
Kirk Newski. Okay, let's take a look. Kirk Newski is on the call, so I am recording your name here. I'm going to put you on the list. You have just won a Nechako White Sturgeon Recovery Initiative t-shirt. We'll get in touch with you in order to get your details so that we can get you the right size. Kirk Newski. I like to think of this part as like, you know, if we were doing a live event, it would be like we were chucking the t-shirts at the crowd, right? So I think if you're one of the attendees right now, you should be standing up and like, you know, making yourself as like big as possible because you're trying to catch one of these t-shirts. We want lots of energy today anyway. So let's draw for another t-shirt, Alberta.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna do a few t-shirts to start.
Let's see here.
Congratulations, Kirk.
There we go.
Drawing for another t-shirt here. Diane Fulton. Okay, let's see if Diane is on the call. Participants. Diane, if you're on the, I see you on the call. So Diane Fulton, congratulations. You've just won yourself a Nechako White Surgeon Recovery Initiative t-shirt as well, valued at $20. And I'll reach out to get your details so that we can make sure we get you the right size and the best color for you. Let's draw, we're gonna draw another t-shirt and then we're gonna draw a gift card for Petrocan from Fisheries. So we'll go t-shirt first and then Petrocan.
All right, here we go.
I hope everybody's standing up in the crowd, waving your arms. Or doing a dance like me and Sandra. Fair Brown. Okay, let me just see. I keep having to find this list every time, and I'm so sorry about that. Fair Brown. And let me make sure. I don't see Fair Brown on the call.
Is it Faith Brown, maybe?
It could be, but it would be under the incorrect spelling anyways. So I don't see Faith or Fair, probably Faith on the call. Let's draw again, Alberta, and see if we can get another winner for the, oh, this is actually for a baseball hat, by the way. So I don't know if you would chuck those out into the crowd or not. I feel like the hard brims might kind of hurt, but you know.
All right, here
in a way.
Terry Loogie.
Terry Loogie. Let's see if Terry is in the crowd. Terry, if you're there, raise your hand. I don't see Terry Loogie. We're going to draw again. That's okay. Okay, let's see if Valerie Ketlow is in the crowd. Valerie's not here. If these are your friends, you need to call them and tell them to wake up and get to the AGA.
So she's not there either.
Nope, she's not there either. Let's try another one.
All right.
We'll keep going till we get someone.
Yeah.
Georgina. Georgina, if you're here, I don't see Georgina either. That's okay. Let's keep going.
Ooh,
looks like it's going to Rodney T. I think Rodney's here. Rodney is here.
All right.
Rodney, congratulations. You've just won yourself an Nechako White Surgeon Recovery Initiative baseball hat valued at $20. I don't think you need to select a size for those. I think those are, they automatically adjust probably with the snapback in the back. So congratulations. Let's do one more gift. Let's give away this gift card for Petrocan from Fisheries, Alberta.
All right, here we go. Oh.
All right, Renata Heathcliff, if you're here, raise your hand. I'm searching you in the box here, and I do not see Renata here. I'm sorry, Renata. I hope you can make it to the second half of the AGA. Let's roll again.
Okay.
I don't think we'd be throwing gift cards into the crowd either. Probably hand those over very gently.
Yay.
Fabian Tom. No, Fabian isn't here.
Oh,
okay.
no. Okay.
I know a lot of people are still waking up probably, so.
This is fun though. This is, woo.
At least we've got this great music, right?
Yeah. Angela.
Okay, Angela Heron. Angela Heron is here. I'm very excited for you. You just
Yay.
won yourself a $50 gift card for Petrocan. This is from our fisheries department. Angela here. Let me just make sure I actually record that so we can get your prize to you. And we'll make arrangements after this to make sure that everybody can get their prize. I said let's move on after this, but you know, it's 10:20. I know we've got lots of time still, even if we leave time for.
Audrey, I just
Yep.
want to ask, I'm just going to jump just to mix it up a bit here.
Absolutely.
I don't know, Mina, if you'd like to jump in and answer. We've got a couple of questions in the chat box. And then if we want to maybe play, we've got a little video clip, a 5-minute video clip, and then do a couple more prizes just to mix it up a bit. How does that sound?
Sounds great.
Thanks, ladies. Everybody virtual clap for our amazing Vannas. Yes. All right. And then I'm just gonna, I saw a hand up as well. So I'm going to get Tribal Chief Mina Holmes to respond to questions. And then I will go check the hands up list. Thank you, everybody, for keeping an eye on things.
Okay, the questions in the Q&A is what you're referring to? Yeah, okay.
Yes.
So Rodney Teed, I was actually typing the answers to them, so I'll just cancel that. First, Rodney Teed is asking, what is the status of the traditional governance work that started in 2019? Elder Marlene Qua is asking. So this work was completed, a final report was completed by Bev Bird and is now sitting here at the Tribal Council. And so there's a series of events. Through the Pathways Agreement, there is this initiative to do, it's called transformative change. And we'll talk about that in a bit when Brian comes on, because we kind of have to through Pathways. That work started, the traditional governance work kind of paused, and then the transformative change picked up. And it is now essentially at the leadership table, the CSFN leadership table, transformative change. There is work to start a new entity through the CSFN Chiefs table, and there is a report. The contractor MNP was awarded the contract to lead the discussions on transformative change. Was talked about, what do you do as a tribal council? Well, do you reconstitute it? And it provide some options around creation of a new entity. So that's where that is at. I think this discussion should be awarded more in depth. And I'd like to recommend here, Zandra, that a webinar just on the work that was done here at the Tribal Council over the many years. Traditional governance was one. There's traditional governance working group. There was there's a report here that Bev Bird did for us, and that will take about 2 hours to work through. And I would love everyone to know all of this stuff. So I think let's, at this point, I'd suggest, Zandra, that we just offer to put a date out on traditional governance / transformative change out, and invite folks to join a webinar, and we'll have it set out a little differently. So it's just for everyone. So in case you're thinking that you're just going to sit there and listen, what we can do instead is have everybody on the screen here live with us, and we can just have a conversation and walk through a presentation. So I can't answer the question just very quickly. That's my recommendation. If Rodney Teed is good with that, then I'd like to proceed in that way.
Thank you so much. And I will speak to one of the other questions just because it's in here, and it's regarding the draws. And I think that was messaged back, but we just want to let you know, just with the way things are working, we know that we have some people struggling to get on, but just for the fairness of the people that are here and what have you, that's what we've made kind of the guidelines for the door prizes, is that you have to be online. And like we said, we've got the ability to call in as well. So if you look back, if anybody, your family members are struggling to get in, tell them to go call the number versus trying to get in through the thing, and they can still participate. So we apologize if anyone wasn't able to get in, but just for this process, we just really are sticking kind of with what we're doing here. And I notice another, so I'm going to say, I see a hand up here, Bonnie Whistler. I didn't know if you want to, if you had a question that you wanted to put into the chat, Bonnie, or.
Yeah, they should put it in the chat.
If you could, Bonnie, that would be great. I see that your hand is up. So anybody that puts their hand up, it just helps us to be able to read and figure out who the right person is to answer your question. Just so, because it may take, like Chief Mina was saying, sometimes she's got to get slides, or one of our technicians. So if you could please put your comments, and then we will, like we've been doing, go through the question and answer box, and we'll respond to any questions, comments, or concerns that you have. So Bonnie, if you wouldn't mind putting that in, we greatly appreciate that. All right, excellent. And now, Jess, I know you're out there, one of our technicians, if you would be able to queue up. Okay, here, sorry, we got another question. Thank you, Lana. I don't know if you want to take a peek at that, Tribal Chief.
Sorry, I'm just sending a note for a tech person to help Chief Robert Michelle sign back in.
That's okay. See, you guys, we all got each other's back. So thank you for that. That's amazing. I don't know if you want to take a moment to read. There's a question in it and maybe get back to it, because we can also, I want to queue up the video from our AFN, BC AFN Chief Terry TG. We have a 5-minute video. So we are going to play that.
Tsekuza, Skyza. First of all, I just want to acknowledge the territory I'm on in Claytley Tene, and want to acknowledge all of you, Carrier Sekani members, for joining the 38th Annual General Assembly. It's a pleasure to address all of you, membership chiefs, hereditary chiefs, the tribal chief, and family and friends. We are celebrating all our nation's resilience and unity since time immemorial. I have a strong and emotional connection to the Carrier Sekani Tribal Council, since I am a member of Takla Nation and served as Vice Tribal Chief and then Tribal Chief for many years. This past year has been difficult. We rose up to fight together against the effects of the global COVID-19 pandemic, systemic inequalities, and racism, the opioid crisis, and so many other issues that really arose during this pandemic over the last 11 months. Our relationships have become even more crucial during this time, and many of us have been working hard to maintain and build supportive networks. These relationships are so important to stay well. They are key to our resilience. Our connection to our cultures and our language comes through our elders, who are our treasures. I'm pleased that we are finally seeing a rollout of vaccines in our communities, which are so essential to protect our elders. Many communities have already been offered opportunities for vaccinations, and I encourage everyone to learn about and consider getting the vaccine. Thanks to these vaccines, we will soon begin experiencing the decline and slowdown of this current pandemic. The BC Assembly of First Nations team has been working hard to advance First Nations rights and interests at all government levels. In collaboration with our leaders, we work to develop and promote policies and resources for the benefit of our First Nations in British Columbia. This work includes governance, lands and resource, economic and environmental and social, education, and health and cultural matters. This year, we'll be pushing hard for the federal government to implement the United Nations Declaration of Rights of Indigenous Peoples. The bill is grounded in principle of equality and promises to propel all of us toward a just and equal society. This legislation within both the federal and provincial jurisdiction, such as the current Bill 41, the UNDRIP bill provincially, will help us find pathways and build strategies toward improving First Nations communities' health and well-being. The social sickness of racism is increasingly visible, and both Indigenous and non-Indigenous peoples must pull together and work against its harmful effects. The BCAFN has condemned the recent harmful racist commentary expressed in response to the COVID-19 breakout within the Cowichan tribes in Vancouver Island and in other areas within CSTC territory and other areas in the province. We're also building towards a new National First Nations Justice Strategy not only in the region of BC, but also nationally. We've already seen some improvements here in BC fighting against the racism of the justice system with First Nations justice centers open up and across the province of British Columbia. In January, the BC Prosecution Service also announced important changes to the practices that will keep First Nations people out of prison. We'll be working to replicate these successes at the national level. This year is already revealing itself to be another action-packed and challenging time as the pandemic continues to rage, and we watch the political turmoil amongst our neighbors to the south of the border. However, I see the beginning of a new hopeful period of reset and commitment to relationships and the social, economic, and health challenges as we renew relationships and commitments that are grounded in the spirit of respect and cooperation. And lastly, I just want to acknowledge all those families that are going through this pandemic and who have lost loved ones, in particular in Plasden territory with the John family and other families within CSTC that lost loved ones. Our thoughts and prayers are with you, and certainly this is a difficult time, and we're with you. And with that, I just want to say thank you. Masicho.
Thank you so much for those wonderful words from the regional chief of the BCAFN, Terry TG, and one of our amazing community members and family members to a lot of people. So again, somebody else, the honor of one is the honor of all. So I thank and hold up my hands to all of our leaders. Because this is hard work. This is scary to put yourself out here sometimes. So we thank you for your patience with us. And like I said, I send out all my, my best wishes, my positivity, and any healing vibes I can to all of our leaders in the community. I thank you for the work you do, and to all of our community members that are out there today, and wanted to re-welcome any of those members that have joined us and missed our opening introduction. Just so you know, if you're wondering who's this crazy lady, my name is Zandra Ross. I'm your chair for today, and I'm so honored to call Claytley Tene territory my home. I'm originally from the Williams Lake Indian Band. I'm a Northern Tekelmuk or Northern Shuswap woman, and as I say in my language, thank you so much. Sorry, my brain went dead there for a minute. And I say hello to all of you from my language, Wake, and Masi for allowing me to be on your territory. So I thank you for that. And I just wanted to do a quick thing. So we're just, we are way ahead of the schedule. We're going to do a few more draws here, just trying to get us closer to the break time, friends. But I just wanted to thank our sponsors who have contributed prizes and funds for us to be able to bring this for you and to be able to have funds to be able to provide the door prizes. So just want to say a quick shout out to TC Energy, the Coast Hotel Prince George, Capri Insurance Services, 1618 Inn, Canfor, Forest Ecosystem Solutions Limited, the Royal Bank of Canada, City of Prince George, Gowling, WLG, MNP Financial. So thank you to all of you for supporting the work that the Tribal Council is doing and this annual General Assembly. And another thing, I just got to do a woot woot here, because honestly, we were all worrying about the numbers we would have for this AGA. And I need to say a big heck yeah to all of you. We have 54 attendees right now. Woot woot, everybody. Pat on the back, everybody. So excited for you, okay? All righty. Oh, good. And we've got somebody. Okay. So why don't we do a few more door prizes here, ladies? Do you want to do a couple more here? And then we will, not to put you unless they're busy, that would be great.
The answer is always yes, Sandra. As long as we have prizes left, the answer is yes. And we do have prizes yet left. The next one that we're going to give away is actually...
And this is what I have to say to prizes, everybody. Sorry, I just had to do that. We need a little commitment here for all of you at home. Make sure that we're not making you go to sleep. So thank you.
I do want to say we did draw 4 names just a few minutes ago. And I'm reaching out in the chat box individually to the people who are winning. So I'm just waiting for 3 email addresses. One of you has sent me your email address, but I want to make sure that I can follow up with you so that we can actually get this prize to you. So just make sure that you're checking that chat box. I'm messaging you specifically if you've won and just asking for your email address. So just put your email address in there, and only the panelists will get it. It's not going to go to all the other attendees if you're worried about privacy or anything like that. Alberta, the next prize that we're giving up is Can4 swag. That is all the information I have on it. I know that it's worth up to $500.
Yeah. Okay. I also see in the comments too, Diane Fulton would like to redonate her prize back.
Oh, that's so nice.
Ah, that's so nice, Diane.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I'll just put a note here. We'll just put this one back in the list then.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, great.
See.
Let's draw
All right,
for this.
So let's get to the screen here. And added a couple participants who just joined in.
Yeah, and we'll just remind everybody too that you know, you have to be here in order to claim your prize when we draw your name. We know it's not a perfect way to do it, but you know, with the limitations we have doing everything online, I think it's the best that we could do. So you have to be here when we draw your name, or unfortunately we move on to the next person. So let's draw for this Can4 swag.
All right, I can't even wait to see what's in there. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Zalui!
Zalui! Let me see. All right, we've got 56 attendees, and Zalui is one of them.
Yay!
Congratulations! You have won the most mysterious prize of the day. And I can't wait to find out what it is, but you've won a whole bunch of swag from Can4, valued up to $500. I don't know what's in there yet, and I can't wait to find out. When we do find out, we'll let everybody know on our Facebook page, because I'm sure if you're curious like me, you're dying to know too. So Za, I will send you a private message when things kind of quiet down here a little bit. And if you can just respond with your email address when you get a chance to, that'd be great, and I can get in touch with you for that. What do you think?
One more.
At least one more. Let's give away the City of Prince George gift.
Ooh.
Do you have this one on your desk?
I'll grab it. Just hold on.
Yes. I love this gift. I know that there's a Mr. PG doll included in it, and a mug and a scarf, but I think seeing it is believing it, and sometimes we just need to see what the prize is. So Alberta is going to run off and grab that for us. We've got 57 people here right now, and I think that's just really awesome. We need that music back on, hey, Zandra, so we can bop a little bit more.
I like the dancing people. Come on, give me some music.
You know what they need to add on these webinars is an option for people to like put a little dancing icon up when they're just like having a good time in the audience, and we get that interaction. All right, Alberta, I see you've got it. Show us what we've got.
All right. So in this bag from the City Hall, there's a nice little blue scarf that was wrapped around. Oops, kind of headless there. This little Mr. PG.
Love him.
His head's not on. There, now you can see him.
He is a cultural icon.
And City of PG coffee mug. The background keeps. But there's also some chocolate. It keeps cutting out. And a couple pins. And a $50 gift certificate to Batula Burning. They have yummy, yummy pizza there.
Yeah, so the way I'm envisioning this is, you know, with COVID restrictions and we're only allowed to go to restaurants with our own family, or, you know, maybe you go alone. But if you win this prize, you can go to Batula Burning and take your Mr. PG doll with you and
order double.
Yeah, I feel like that'll bring in some of that old energy of being able to get together with our friends and have meals together. Shall we draw for this one?
Let's do it.
All right. Pamela Ruse or Rouse. I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly, but let's check if she's here first, actually. Sorry. Pamela Rouse. I'm just going to lean into Rouse. You're here. That's incredible. Yay. Okay, that's great. So Pamela, if you can send me your email address in the chat, and if I don't see an email from you, I will reach out to you in the chat here specifically and get your email address there. Do we have time for more, Zandra, or should we?
I would say, yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Let's do one more. I'm just sending out some directions here and getting some directions. So yeah, do another one.
Awesome. Right. Okay. The next one on my list is the Nechako White Sturgeon Recovery Initiative baseball hat. Another baseball hat worth $20 to keep the sun out of your eyes and good vibes. I don't know where I was going with that. Let's spin for the baseball hat.
All right.
And the way it slows down is so nerve-wracking because you're like, is it going to be that person or the other person? Walter Ward, let's see if you're here. We're at 57 attendees and Walter Ward is here. I love that everybody's showing up today. This is so great that we're drawing these names and we're seeing that people are here. This is incredible. It's one thing to register, it's another thing to actually be here at the AGA. So Walter Ward, congratulations. You've won yourself a Nechako White Sturgeon Recovery Initiative baseball hat valued at $20. We'll keep the elements out of your eyes. And I'm going to be sending you a message in the chat to get your contact information. Same with the other winners. If I haven't received your contact information yet, I'll just be sending you a little chat and you can let me know how to get in touch with you so we can make sure you actually get your prize.
Awesome. Amazing. Fabulous. All right, folks. I'm going to ask on Jessica if we could maybe drop the staff bios. So we've just got a little bit. Our next presentation, or actually, I'm wondering, our break is at 11, but maybe we should take our break now because we're going to move up MNP to 11 a.m. So I'm thinking now would be a great time to take a break until 11 a.m. if that is agreeable with my somewhat co-chair. I know Tribal Chief Mina Holmes, I'm kind of calling you my unofficial chair, but is that agreeable to the team? Okay, so I think does that sound agreeable? No worries, hon, no worries, didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, can we have is the PowerPoint, can we just run a PowerPoint of all the bios? Yeah, that'd be lovely. I love the booklet and how the bios and the reports look. It's so nice.
I love it too. Wonderful. So we are going to break early. We're going to start our break 11 a.m. We will return. You can stay, watch the wonderful videos. We're going to have some staff bios. We're going to have something going in. And again, we'll be keeping an eye on everybody that's coming in. I'll put a note that we've got the break slide up, so we'll make sure that anybody knows what's going on. I'm just checking the question and answer period. Okay, there we go. Good. So we will reconvene. And again, I just had a question about what about people who tune in for specific presentations? That will be the only one that is moved. Everything else will be in order. And we will send out a note possibly we're trying to do our best. So that's all we can do right now. So thank you, and sending apologies in advance. So just trying to make sure we're using the best use of our time here today. So thank you so much, everybody. We are going to break until 11 a.m. And then we could just run the PowerPoint when our technicians are ready. Thank you. And just a heads up, we'll be welcoming our next guest speaker. Once we get the slides on, we will be welcoming our next guest speaker, which will be Chief Clarence Louie from the Osoyoos Indian Band. So thank you so much for your patience this morning. You are an amazing audience. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Lana Coldway. I'm the new finance coordinator for CSTC. I'm excited to be a part of the team and looking forward to working collaboratively with all 7 nations.
Awesome. There's an intro from one of our staff. We've just got some quick little video clips. Turn my video off. Sorry, guys. We've just got some quick little video clips that we are putting in there. So I don't know if we want to maybe even drop the original slide presentation that we had up, or the original video that was created at the very intro. Would be great if we could play that through the break.